Marijuana businesses are thriving in our state, but many in the industry say there's a crisis happening. And some wonder if the federal government's trying to force the businesses to commit financial crimes so the government can then shut them down. Tonight, cannabis in Colorado, the marijuana growing pains you haven't heard about. At marijuana businesses like The Spot in Pueblo West, money's flowing in fast. But since marijuana is federally illegal and banks are regulated by the federal government.
We've had the opportunity to have bank accounts. They might last a week, they might last 3 weeks, but they have all been shut down.
Many pot businesses are forced to deal in cash only. This year in Colorado alone, the marijuana industry is expected to hit $1 billion in sales.
They are now, in many cases, having to take somewhat extreme measures to find ways to deal with this cash. And obviously, in a criminal environment, the ways to do that involve money laundering. Taylor
West is the deputy director of the National Cannabis Industry Association.
These are businesses that are working very hard to be upstanding citizens and follow all of the laws, and they're kind of being thwarted at every turn by this particular crisis.
Some in the industry, afraid to go on camera, tell me that it seems like the federal government wants them to launder money, so the government can then come in and shut them down. Others say it may be much simpler than that.
So if you can't bank and you're expected to pay your taxes, you kind of wonder, are they trying to make the system fail on the back end?
And what about those taxes? The government's expected to take in more than $120 million in pot taxes this year in Colorado. No questions asked when that money hits the banks.
But when it comes to the businesses themselves, they're being turned away. They're having existing bank accounts shut down. In many cases, individuals will have their bank accounts shut down simply for being associated with a business.
So it is kind of a double standard by all means. It's funny how it's, I guess, good for the goose, but not good for the gander in that situation.
With many banks afraid to do business with the federally illegal business of pot, some business owners are now storing their cash in large purchases like homes and boats, hoping for the day the federal government falls in line with states like Colorado.
This is a situation that isn't going to get fixed unless Congress takes action.
And you should know, I have confirmed, there are banks in our state allowing marijuana businesses to bank with them. The banks, though, are so concerned about federal regulators, they typically don't do business with any shop that has cannabis or marijuana in its name or logo. And no one wanted to talk on camera or even have their name used for this report because they say they're afraid of being targeted by the federal government.